Morning, everybody. I'm Brenda Generali with Joyful Living Services. I do iridology. I'm the iridologist. I've been in iridology for, it'll be 30 years in August. It's amazing. And I've seen so many people, read so many eyes, and I've seen a lot of change in iridology. Iridology is changing with the new research, just like all sciences are changing with the new research, so we need to keep that in mind. My focus today is just basically to explain to you how to take pictures of your eyes. So a lot of you don't have an iridology camera and you're going to use just your cell phone. Best thing to do is have somebody else take pictures of your eyes, okay? And you know, they're going to just come up close to each eye, take a picture of each eye, and it's really important for the pictures to be clear and not to be shiny, not to be fuzzy. We need to be able to see all of the markings that are going to show up in the eyes. Okay, and I'll show you, give you some examples. Of course, somebody like me that's doing iridology professionally, this is the SD804 Iridology Camera, and we have a special lens on here that allows us to enlarge the eye. And you can see here we're using, you know, a standard camera, which is a Nikon here, was what we've got on here now. And we have a flash unit here, and we have a lighting that comes in and comes into the eye. And I can turn it on here for you so that you can see. It's pretty bright, but it does not harm the eye. Now, a lot of you are having trouble with the brightness, especially on a brown eye. Brown eyes are tough. And so a lot of times if you're going to use the camera, you may need to have somebody else shine a flashlight on the side, underneath, at the top, by the nose, just to be able to get the right lighting, because we need to be able to see. You know, we can talk about the iris constitution, whether you have a blue, mixed, or brown eye, and that gives us your genetic tendencies. But at the same time, we need to be able to see the subtype. You know, whether you have the rings, the contraction furrows, whether you have the lymphatic rosary, which are the little dots that go all the way around, you know, depending on what your subtype is, whether you have the scurifrim, you know, which is the dark around the outside of the eye, whether you have the radial furrows, which, you know, we used to call radii scleras, and so on. You know, that tells us a lot. And you've got to remember that iridology is changing. So, you know, we used to believe that the iris changes. What we're finding is that the pupil changes, okay? The iris doesn't change. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people to grasp. But, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years. My eyes haven't changed, and I've done multiple cleanses, detoxes, diet changes. My life has completely changed, and my eyes haven't changed. But the sclera changes. Okay, the sclera, that's the white part of your eye, it changes. We can see changes. So as you're doing detoxes, as you're doing herbal programs, as you're doing TRS, as you're doing lifestyle changes and diet changes, we're going to see the whites of your eyes get brighter and clearer and change. And those blood vessels are going to get softer. And the yellow, you know, I see a lot of people at the health food stores, a lot of yellow in the sclera, a lot of pink in the sclera. Yellow has to do with digestive issues, okay? Pink has to do with allergies, environment. And we see that all the time, and that does improve as digestion improves, as the body detoxes, as we get rid of heavy metals. You know, Amber and I have been talking about detoxing heavy metals. And so as we detox, as we improve our health, the eyes will become brighter, shinier, you look more alive, cleaner, you know, and so on. And so let me give you a couple of ideas here of what we need. Okay, so here, let me share my screen. Okay, so here's some iris pictures that I gave to Amber, and you'll see that I've got multiple pictures here. I've got blue, mixed, and brown eyes, and I wanted to give you some ideas. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you want an iris analysis, you've got to have good pictures. Otherwise, you know, we can't see the markings. We can't tell what the subtype is. We can't tell the iris constitution. We can't tell what's going on. And you also have to remember that what we're looking at is genetic tendencies, meaning this is who you are, okay? This is who you are. Your body is your body. It's like a fingerprint. Your fingerprint doesn't change. Iris is the same. Iris doesn't change. It is who you are. This is what you've been dealt. These are the cards you've been dealt. This is what you get to deal with for your whole life, you know? And the key is, and I've been telling this to people over and over, and the key is, how do you live in your body comfortably your whole life? What do you need to do? Do you need to reduce stress? Do you need to help the nervous system? Do you need to improve digestion? Do you need to detox? Do you need to detox and improve digestion? Do you need to move? Do you need to change your job? What do you need, or are you okay? Are you great the way you are? What do you need to do to improve your health and stay healthy so that when you're 9 years old, you feel good? Really, that's the key. What do I need to do so that when I'm 9 years old, I feel good? I'm good. I've healed my body. I've gotten rid of stress. I've eaten well. I've taken the supplements I need to take. I've detoxed and all that. Okay, so here's some examples I want to go through and just show you, you know, the kind of clarity, okay? So we want to make sure that we can see any kind of markings that we need to see, all right? The key is the colors in the eye and the structure of the eye. Really important to be able to see any of that. And I have all these things coming up on my screen here. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't know why this all came up, but let me stop the share here for a minute and see if I can get rid of all these things that have popped up on my screen. Okay, let's try this again. All right. There we go. All right, so this is what we want, okay? A nice clean picture. This is a blue eye. All right, this is straight on. This is the left iris, all right? Here we have, we need to look at the sclera. So here we have a sclera. This is a nasal area, all right? The nose is here. So when we look at then we want to look at the sclera at the nose, then you are going to look to the outside. You're going to look towards your ears. And then somebody can take a picture of your sclera at the nose area. It's called nasal sclera, okay? And this is the left nasal, okay? Same thing. This is, the ear is over here on the left. This is the left eye, okay? Here is temporal sclera, okay? This is at the temple. Then you're going to look towards your nose. Same thing, all right? Here's the right iris, nice and clear. Okay, here is nasal sclera looking out towards your ear. Okay, this is looking towards your nose. This is temporal sclera. And you see all these little blood vessels. This is what we're looking at. We're looking for the blood vessels. We're looking to see what they look like. Are they wavy? Are they straight? Are they coming in towards the iris? Is there a ring around the iris? These are some of the markings that we're looking for. Here's a beautiful brown eye. Look at that brown eye. And that's what we need, see? We need to be able to see the rings. We need to be able to see the pigments. We need to be able to see the actual colorette or any kind of markings in there. We need to be able to see the sclera and the brown and that might show up in the sclera. Okay, here we can see a lot of blood vessels. Here we can see the pink. These are the kinds of things that we're looking for. Okay, here we see the blue ring around the outside. And I'm not going to give you any terms right now because this is not what this is about. So here it is. Here's, again, as you'll see, this is nasal sclera. Okay, this is temporal sclera. Okay, this is looking straight on the right iris. And, you know, try to open your eye as much as you can. Use your fingers if you need to. Use your fingers to open the eye. If the bottom lid won't come down enough, then you just pull the bottom lid down just a little bit with your pinky so that you can make sure that the iris isn't covered. This is covered a little bit, but you want to try to make sure. See, these are some markings that we see here in the sclera. We want to make sure that you open your eye really good. Here's a mixed eye, okay? And so we can see, we want it to be clear so we can see this orange in the center and this ring on the outside, and we can see any little blood vessels in the sclera. Look at this. We want to be able to see this kind of marking. Very, very important, okay, that we be able to see all the little veins in the sclera. And you'll see over and over and over again here the different blood vessels that we can see. And they all mean different things, okay? Here's a mixed eye, and we can see the fibers and the rings, and we can see the yellows and the pinks and all the different colors in the sclera and the blood vessels and the iris. And we can see the pupil nice and clear. Okay, really, really important that we can see all of these things when we're looking at the eye. So if you want a reading, that's what I need. You can send it in, and I will tell you if it's clear enough for me to see the subtypes. I had somebody send in some Braun pictures and couldn't see the subtype, so they brought more light into the eye, and then I was able to see subtype. Want it to be accurate, need to see everything, okay? If you have questions, please contact Amber, or you can also email me. Email is iridology, iridology @netzero.net. You can call me. Office number is 530-878-1119. You can text me to my cell phone. Cell phone is 530-368-0918. Website is joyfullivingservices.com. I do teach classes. Anybody's interested? And away we go. Just let me know your questions. Let me know if you need help, and have a wonderful day.